Sounds very. Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
good afternoon.
Hey there.
Hi.
Got church?
Get church right here at Canonsburg, UP Church 112 West Pike Street, Canonsburg, PA. It's Wednesday, July the 31st.
31st. Last
Can you
day of
believe
July.
it?
Yeah.
And this is Canonsburg, UP Church. Oh, we already said that.
Yeah. We have a special guest.
Oh, we do.
I'm back
with
from
us.
two weeks off, yeah.
Al
Yeah.
Barker.
How you doing?
Hi, Al. Gosh, I missed you.
I haven't shaved in 2 weeks.
I know, I could tell.
I'm getting ready. I'm going to Canada next
I know.
week,
You
and
know what?
I got to get ready. I gotta
I'm
be
telling you what,
the
the
wilderness man, you know.
dude is ready for Woodstock.
Woodstock?
Yeah.
I don't know. He
Yeah.
does. I mean, the tie on the back of
I
his
know.
glasses does kind of give me, I don't know, Jimmy Buffett.
Had to have
you
it
know,
because my glasses would have fallen off riding these horses.
Oh.
You went out to Jackson, Wyoming.
Jackson,
Spent
Wyoming.
a week in the wilderness
Yep.
with 6 of your best friends.
Yep,
One of them being your wife.
yep.
And
I can't believe she did it. I
15
just can't.
horses and-
She was totally out of her element.
really,
Riding horses, the camping business,
Yep.
the dirt, the dust.
I would have been.
No
Yep.
showers. Just everything about the trip was out of her element.
Okay.
And she had a great time.
awesome.
Well,
we all had a great time.
Good.
I think sometimes isn't that the case?
And we got pushed to the limit.
Yeah.
You know, at the time, maybe it wasn't the greatest moment.
Yeah,
you
you're a
know,
little
where,
uncomfortable.
You know, we're sitting there riding after 5 or 6 hours of riding, and your butt hurts and your
Yep.
knees hurt, and you're going, "Where's the end of this trail?" And because we've never ridden horses before, and that was a
that was
lot.
your
We
that was your
rode-
first time horse riding at all?
I rode maybe 45 years ago.
Okay, all right.
On a farm, but
Wow.
yeah, we rode about 20 hours on the
Wow.
horses in 5 days, and
Wow.
just a lot of riding and really uncomfortable at times. But as soon as you get off, you
Walk it
you
off.
almost can't walk, but within an hour,
I was gonna say,
you
were
feel
you-
back to normal. And,
Did you get that bowed-legged thing when you were walking a little bit?
Well, that's why your knees hurt, because I think your knees want to bend sideways instead
Okay.
of
Yeah.
front and back to wrap around the horse to be in the stirrups, because you got to be able to push up and down when the horse starts.
Were you on the
trotting.
same horse every day?
Same horse. Yeah,
Okay, so he got
mine
to
was
know you?
Mine was Maud.
Maud. Okay.
Linda's was Moose.
Moose and
And from the
Maud.
back, the horse just looked just like Linda. She's got flowing curly black hair, and this horse had the longest curly
Mane.
black tail.
Oh.
I mean, it touched the ground. Most horse tails don't touch the ground, but this came off the back end, went all the way down to the ground, and it was curly.
Moose.
His name was Moose.
Were the horses pre-selected for you?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
we had to send out how much do you weigh,
Yeah,
how
okay.
tall are you, what's your experience level, and then they picked out horses that they thought would be appropriate.
Okay, nice.
What was the scariest experience?
Well, one of the members in our party fell off her horse.
Okay.
The horse got excited, got spooked by something, and just took off running.
Okay.
And she wasn't ready for it, and she fell off.
And she got hurt.
She twisted her ankle. Didn't get stuck in the stirrups or anything.
Oh.
Fell completely off. But when you're falling from 6 feet up onto rocks and dirt,
Yeah, did you have a hard time mounting a horse?
No, I didn't. Some people did.
Yeah, I would have had to have help.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They bring out little step stools.
Do they?
They didn't have step stools.
No.
We stood on a stump or a log,
Okay.
Oh, whatever, yeah.
They would have brought a
Big
step stool
rock.
for you.
For me, yeah.
or if there wasn't one, where you get 2 people hoisting them up there.
Well, that's fine. I could be hoisted.
Have you ever gone horseback riding?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I was
Thank
going to say, 20 hours is
No.
more than the total of my
I've-
entire life. I'll
I've-
say that.
Yeah, we
I've
went
done-
to Gettysburg just a couple years ago, and we did a tour on horseback,
Oh, okay.
and that was maybe an hour and a half or
Yeah.
2 hours long, and that was no problem. That's why I thought this trip was going to be piece of cake. Oh man!
I told you my experience watching them at the Grand Canyon, right?
Yeah.
Would never do that. I saw the little video, and I would be willing to. I think I'd be in the same boat. It would be painful, but I'm not doing that at the Grand Canyon.
Yeah, I had no concept that it was going to be that bad. I mean, there was a lot of moments when I said, why am I doing this? But it's funny how you can come to the end of your limits And when you look back on it, it's one of your best times of your life. You know,
Yeah.
when
Well-
you push yourself to your limit.
You've been somewhere and you've done something, and that's really important. You got that out of vacation for once. You know what I mean? You got your money's worth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd have never done it if my friend hadn't passed away. We had to bury his ashes up on top of a certain mountain where he used to go hunting at. We took his cremated ashes up there, and we had a ceremony on top of the mountain. It was beautiful.
That's good. Well, you guys all look like you were having a grand time. When did you get home?
Got home on Monday night. At
Oh, okay.
11 o'clock.
Because I got pictures today on Facebook.
Yeah, we were out of touch. We had no service for 5 days.
Oh no!
Another really good part of it, right?
That's a good.
Oh yes,
To be disconnected and to be present with the people you're with and
yeah,
the nature that's
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
Boy, isn't that the talk of the day?
So what have you guys been doing?
Well, were you
Not
you,
nearly as exciting as
No,
that, man.
You
Wow.
you know, I dented my car, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I was in tears.
Might have to ask you for a favor.
Did you get it fixed yet?
No, next week.
Okay.
Next week. In fact, next Wednesday.
I'm not going to be around next Wednesday. I'm going to Canada
Okay, then.
When do you go to Canada?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Oh my goodness.
Wow. I'm gonna miss you on Sunday. You got all
Yeah.
these stories, all the.
We'll have a
Church
ceremony.
members.
We'll have a ceremony, and we'll think about you.
All right.
Thanks.
Are you back the following Sunday?
And we'll be back the following Saturday morning.
Okay. I won't be here on that Sunday, but Graham is gonna come preach.
Okay, that's good.
So maybe you'll come for him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
But
You're going to be here?
Yeah. He
Yeah.
was away. How many weeks ago was it?
With the week of Bible school.
3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Sunday we had a guest musician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maggie did an exceptional
Goodish
job.
played again.
What did she play?
She played. Her prelude was "Blessed Assurance," and it was a very nice arrangement of it. Her anthem was "Here I Am, Lord," and it was also a very.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I do pay attention to what's going on,
Yeah.
and I'm even recalling it. Aren't you like impressed?
Yeah. Well, I hadn't. I remembered when you said it, so that's
Yeah.
what I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can even remember parts of your sermon.
Really?
Yeah.
Amen.
The beginning and the end. Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, Maggie did a great job.
Yeah.
This Sunday we had a baptism. The Kreitzman's
Yeah.
little second daughter,
Mackenzie.
Maggie. Mackenzie was baptized. Had a
Yeah.
wonderful.
Whole family here?
Oh
Yeah.
my, yeah. then they hosted basically a lunch and fellowship hour.
Yeah, they
afterward
did.
downstairs. So
Very nice.
that was great.
Very nice people. Very nice people.
This Sunday we have communion.
Oh, that's right.
So first Sunday of the month.
Yeah.
Because today's the last day of the month. So
And then next Sunday you won't be.
I won't be here next Sunday. No.
And because why?
I will be on my way back from dropping off my eldest at college.
But Graham, who is preaching, he's preached here before.
Yep.
But we met him at our Bible study.
Yeah.
He came and talked to us about near-death experience.
Oh, that was the one that you had to stop
We had
the
to
day
stop
it was
because
snow.
we got flooded.
Or
the one
flood, yeah,
time,
flood.
And then we had him come back again. And
Oh,
He had
okay.
come out once.
He came down the day of the big rain, and he was all the way down to the Canonsburg exit when we called him and told him, hey, you can't come in our driveway because it's washed out. And you wouldn't have been able to even come down Western Avenue because
Yeah.
it was closed. So
Yeah.
he turned around and went home, and he came down another day.
I didn't hear about that.
And
Yeah.
we asked him to give
Yeah.
us all kinds. Yeah, we asked him how well he knew you, and we wanted to get tidbits of information. Yeah, dirt.
Did you get anything?
I can't remember.
Must not have been that.
It was that good.
Must not have been
So
that good.
I was gonna say you haven't brought it up before, so I was figuring if.
Okay,
yeah.
so do you need to get anything emotional off your chest about dropping your?
Not right now.
Okay,
No, we'll see. So I'll be here next Wednesday. That'll be the day
right.
before.
Oh yeah. Oh
So, yeah,
my.
so-
Did Kenton whine about his car being dented
Oh
last
yeah,
week?
yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so everybody knows about that.
We had this whole conversation about the initial price, like at a dealer was here, but then there's some guy in a back alley that he's going to take it to, and the price is going to be down
Yeah,
here.
because the deductibles here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's going to be.
I got a
we'll
guy
see.
going to do it in Pleasant Hills.
It's going to be pink. The whole car is going to be pink afterwards.
No,
but you sure?
no.
Just one pink spot.
I
Instead of
have
it that one pink spot there,
All right.
I think I told you at some point in time. It's been so long ago. Back when I was in college, I had, long story short, an incident with my car. The power steering hose ruptured.
Okay.
Started with a slow leak, and then of course it just there's
course
too
it
much
did.
pressure, and so I was talking about this while I was working at the college, and somebody who didn't go to the college lived in the city and said, "Oh, I've got a guy." Let me just tell you, that was the last time I had I've got a guy story.
Really?
Of somebody that I didn't really know very well, because here's the thing is, we drive out to meet the guy. Turns out the guy wasn't available, but his cousin. You start to.
Was he confident? Was he confident he could fix it?
So a few hours later, I picked up in the dark, and paid the money. The whole time I'm thinking this is going bad. But I got the car back. It seemed everything was fine. A couple weeks later, Bridget and I were driving through Buffalo on the way to what would end up being the time that we purchased her engagement ring. And we crest the hill of the highway and are heading towards the Elm Street exit when the entire car dies electrically. No power for anything. So I pull off the side. Long story short.
Doesn't sound like to have anything to do with the power steering.
Oh, but it did.
He put it in such a way that it was rubbing up against the electrical and shorted out the entire car. So I've got a guy. I'm always leery about
I'm
that.
not.
Good luck.
I'm sure
you'll be fine.
But for my other work that I have
This was
done,
the cousin of a guy.
Yeah, that's a pretty
Yeah,
started. If he shows up to this dark alley in Pleasant Hills, and the guy says, "Well, actually, I'm really busy, but I've got a cousin."
no.
Turn around.
Isn't he just going to pull the dent out? Isn't he just going to pull the dent out?
Yeah, we have to paint a little bit
He
too.
has to paint. Okay.
Yeah.
Smooth it, right?
Well, I don't know.
We got a massage.
Whatever they do, as long as it looks like it did before the little crunch happened, I'm trying to just keep it that way, as just a little crunch in my mind. Just a little crunchy on the side of the Cadillac.
I'm going to pray for your car.
Well,
Pray
yeah,
for him.
yeah. Hey, don't worry about me, Al.
I hope that it looks as good as new when it's done.
Well,
It
do
will.
I look as
It
good as
will.
new?
It will.
Do I look as good as new right now?
You look just the same as I remember from when I first met you.
Yeah.
10 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
You don't think so? You look better than 10 years ago?
No, because I've been finding hair in the sink.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Well, I don't have to.
I never knew you when you looked like.
You save money on haircuts.
Yeah, I'm gonna start to wear
Just
hats.
saying, just
That's
saying.
all. I would wear hats,
Yeah,
except I don't
hats
look
are
good in a hat.
Hats are good.
Just come on, commit.
I don't look good in a hat.
I know, not to the hat. Just.
I would die. I would just die. No.
It's happening, whether you like it or
No.
not.
No. I would just die if I looked in the mirror. No.
Listen,
I can't.
I met twins who were probably less than 30 years old and bald when I was in high school.
It happens.
And they had kept it nice. And I said, you know what? If that's they look good. If I go bald, that's what I'm doing. No shame whatsoever. So. Anyway.
Well, I don't have shame. It's
No.
just I don't want it to happen. It's not shame. I don't have. I'm not shamed.
It seems to me people go bald before
My age.
your
yeah.
age, and they don't go bald after.
No,
your
right.
Age. So,
So this-
I mean, the fact
So
that
this
you
is
made it,
unique?
the fact that he's made it this far.
Thank
I
you,
feel
Alvin.
confident that he's going to keep.
Thank
it
you,
there.
Alvin. But the fact that I made it this far.
I'm giving just a level of confidence. That's my level of confidence.
You know what, Alvin? I
my
missed you too. Okay, I missed you, but
I have no expertise in that area.
well, your hair is thinner on top.
Yeah,
You're
but
never going to be
but
bald.
the fact that I've made it this long,
Well,
I feel it's
yeah,
gonna
but you're
stay-
kind of
gonna
bushy all over. You're not gonna lose your hair. If you do, you'll be 90.
See, a lot of people, they get to where you're at and they just shave their head.
That's what I was.
Well, just at lunchtime he said, "Brrr," and I'm like,
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
I can't. I
That's
can't.
too much like work.
Huh?
Then you got to shave every day.
They gotta do it like every day.
No, I
Just
want to shave it
regular.
bald. You mean like Mr. Clean bald?
No. That's you don't need to do that.
Oh no.
But speaking of clean,
Because I really think my head is deformed.
Wow. Keep your hair.
Thank you.
speaking of clean
Yeah.
and car.
Car. Oh, car wash. This week
Car wash. That's right. 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
on Sunday.
Sunday. So following
$5.
Not immediately following worship.
But
But you got time to go get lunch.
or go to
Come
fellowship
back-
hour.
Well, yeah, and
Yeah, yeah.
But from 1 to 3, we're going to be hosting a car wash here.
$5 a car.
Yeah,
The
$5
suggestion.
donation.
In the back parking lot.
Yeah, so I think the plan is they will come in off the street, come through, and come back out. It'll take a few minutes. You know, little rinse, little wash, little rinse, little dry.
So different
Oh.
stations. You're going to
Yeah.
have stations along the way.
I think that's the plan.
And who's doing this in favor of who?
Kids for Camp.
Good.
So yeah, helping kids, continue to help kids to go to summer camp and other.
Did you have a good week at camp?
Great week. Yeah, yeah. So
Weather-
tiring.
Was the weather good?
Except for Wednesday. Wednesday we got our big game day rained out. So, but they adjusted, you know, and so we still had a lot of fun. Yeah, got to hang out with some other VWDs, and Kathy was there helping to lead our camp with us, and it was great. Mike, you know, had done a great job the week before, right? Just the week before.
Mike Amos.
My
No?
son, my son Mike.
Oh my! Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
He had done the Expedition Wild. Yeah, so they did a whole bunch of wild stuff.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. So you've been to our winter retreat there?
I've been a
Did you VWD?
WD.
Oh, cool.
With Mr. Bramer,
Oh, nice.
Dave, and I've been there for winter retreats, and I've been there for men's weekends, work weekends, and
Cool.
that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
He's a good guy, Alvin.
absolutely. Yeah.
He's a good guy. Yeah.
You've never been on the camp of.
Pine Springs.
Yeah, you've
no,
never been.
never.
You should go.
I for what?
And I've been to a wedding there.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was only like 2 years ago or
Yeah,
something
a
like that.
couple years ago.
Yeah.
Oh
Winter retreat. We could get you up there for that.
no, because you guys leave me here.
Wow. Well, you never know.
You can come for Friday.
Somebody else to
Friday.
play.
Yeah, there's other people to play.
No, but I can't desert my congregation to go and roast marshmallows
He
over.
does.
Yeah, yeah.
I know that. That's why I stay.
You get away from me.
No, Dawn.
Hey, by the way, speaking of fun too, that we had a great time on Thursday at the Wild Things.
I
Oh,
wish I could have come to that. That looked like a
Like
fun time.
150 people just from the church and the daycare.
Were the stands packed?
So, like, in terms of the entire stands, no.
You guys were in a
Our
box. You were in a
section,
box.
We had 2 boxes
Yeah.
and, you know, the accompanying seating. So it was, our section was pretty full, yeah. It was great. Tons of kids.
how was the
I don't
food?
know how you got
was
that deal.
good.
That
Hot
that
dogs
sounded
and
like a
burgers.
good deal. $10 for the whole thing.
It was, I mean, the church, we supplemented it, so it helped
Still.
to, yeah. But it was a lot of fun.
That's nice.
Great deal, yeah.
That's
I've
real
never
nice.
been to a Wild Things game.
Never.
No.
Nor have I.
Yeah.
Of course, I've never been to a Steelers game
Well,
or a Pirates game.
Really? A Pirates game?
you got to go.
No, never.
Yeah, Pirates especially. I mean, you, get
You were
pretty
never out to
inexpensive.
Forbes Field?
No, I was never at Forbes. I was at Three Rivers, but for concerts.
You ever been to Acrisure Stadium?
No, I have never
For
been
a
there
concert?
yet. No, I've never been there yet. So, and I've never been downtown to where they play hockey either.
Downtown?
Downtown.
The Igloo.
No, the Igloo's gone. What's the name?
Yeah.
Well, I thought maybe you've been to the Igloo.
The Igloo I've been to.
I was
Open and closed.
You were probably here when it was built.
Well, I think it was built in 1960.
Yeah, see?
I was reading about it, and you know, it's a shame that's gone. It really was a marvel of architecture.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
And to have that I don't know, I had to be a lot of thinking to go into letting that building be demolished
Yeah.
because It was quite a spectacle to feel it open
Yeah.
and to see it open. It was
In North America, we don't really keep a lot of our old buildings.
no, we don't. Well, Three Rivers, we still owed $70 million on.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, my issue with all that is fans are fickle. You go to an event, you go there to watch the event. You're not there to appreciate the concession stands. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't go to a game to eat dinner. I go to a restaurant to eat dinner, and I'll go to a game and to watch the game and enjoy the game. And I don't know why you need all these other amenities in the stadiums. And
Well,
seems like
wait a
that's
minute,
what-
Alvin.
You don't need a foot massage in the stadium.
That's what
You
goes
don't need
out
a
of
back
style,
massage?
and that's why they have to build new stadiums. The field,
Yeah, you're right.
The field stays the same. The field of play where all the players play at.
Yep.
Maybe they need better locker rooms or you need better than the other guy, but it just seems like they tear down stadiums and build new ones for silly reasons. There's a lot of really old stadiums like Wrigley Field and it's been there
True.
forever. How's it? I'm sure they've remodeled it over
Sure
the
they
years,
have.
but it's still basically the same
way.
thing. And those are some of the higher rated stadiums.
Yes. Yes. No, I had never been to Forbes Field.
No.
But Three Rivers, yeah, a lot of times in Three Rivers.
You know, Al, that's kind of like this church.
Oh, yeah, true.
This church has been around for a long time.
What church? This church.
This building. This church
Oh, yeah.
building. Yeah.
200,
You know,
200 and...
There was, and funny enough, back in the day, before you were old enough, I think, to be paying attention, back in the day, I found some architectural plans
For?
for a complete renovation. For the
Oh,
church.
no, you should have found for a whole church
Yeah.
that demolished this one and built
That's
another.
what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there were a few
That was in the
plans.
70s.
It was in the 70s. Okay.
Yeah.
They
All
were
right.
thinking about tearing the building down.
Tear
Oh,
the
yeah,
building
and building a
down.
new church.
That was one of the options. Yeah.
Well, buying the post office. That's why we bought that big parking lot up there.
I mean, some people pick out their churches that they go to because it's more modern and they
Yeah.
like the way it looks
Well,
rather
this-
than an older church that looks creepy and like it was built 100 years ago.
Yeah.
What I was going to say though is that the two things. One is that one of the great things is we've been able to do is renovate and remodel in a way that is comfortable. And one more thing, and we're getting there. And hopefully maybe before the end of the year we might have the new windows in. We'll see. No promises, but the project will begin before.
Darn it! I like these windows. I better like these. I better like the
I
new
hope so,
ones
too.
because these ones here I think are.
Yeah.
I always thought until somebody pointed it out to me.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought they were stained glass windows. I really never
Well, and you know,
looked at
it's,
them that closely.
it's just funny too. Sometimes on Sunday morning, the sun is and it happens in the early service. The sun is just right that the reflection is on the wall up there.
Right.
And it's a nice reflection to see. It's a shame that those are as old as they are.
Yeah, well, you got to replace them, but they're working on some stuff that hopefully will have a very good look to them. But the other part I was going to say though is that much like what you're talking about in terms of stadiums, right? You don't go to the stadium to admire the stadium; you go to the stadium to enjoy the game. And I was thinking just like the church, right?
Yeah, but
I mean, we can spend as much time as we think about the building, but it's just a building. Why do we gather? Church, it's the church. It's the people, right? That's what matters.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm grateful for our church because I mean certainly we want a building that's not falling apart that looks welcoming and inviting and all that. But at the root of it, you can have a great building, and if the product on the field is terrible,
Yep.
right? Or you can have a great building, but if the people act unfriendly, unwelcoming,
Sunday morning, we had a nice crowd of people here, and I could tell you who wasn't here, and it's amazing that who wasn't here, and we had the crowd that we had.
Yeah.
And it was a good
And
Sunday.
It felt good. It was.
Yes.
It felt.
It was light.
loving, and welcoming.
Yes, it did.
So, speaking
Yeah.
of which, though,
What are you preaching about on Sunday?
ooh, that's good. All right, so it's kind of two connected, not a series, two connected sermons. So I went with Jesus' baptism on Sunday.
Okay.
Because, hey, we were baptizing Mackenzie. I thought that was a nice text. So,
John the Baptist did that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I talked a little bit about John. Well, I'm gonna preach. There's a situation that happened later in Jesus' ministry where John's disciples, because John had followers as well, they came to Jesus and they said, "Okay, John thought you were the guy, but he's kind of getting a little bit antsy. Is this true? Is it real? Are you the one that was promised, expected?" And Jesus kind of gives them an answer. And that whole story...
We were talking about that yesterday.
A little bit, yes,
Yeah.
we were. So that's what I'm gonna when I'm preaching about. It's kind of a longer section. We're not gonna read the whole thing.
Followers of John the Baptist.
Yeah, they come to Jesus and they say, "Okay, are you really the guy?" John, because John gets arrested, put in jail
After.
after the baptism, and it's from that John gets anxious.
Were they related?
So it's a great question. In Luke's
I
gospel,
thought I was just being dumb.
no, it's a great. In Luke's gospel, Elizabeth, we get a kind of miraculous
That's
story of John's birth.
Okay.
Elizabeth is older, and she gets a visitation by an angel as well. You're gonna
Have a baby.
You're gonna have a baby. She's surprised, and then
So
Mary.
they were both conceived by the Holy Spirit.
No.
It's more like Sarah and
Okay.
It's kind of like you're old, but it's
Too
going to
old.
happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so
That
Elizabeth-
spirit, that's when the spirit really moves you. Go ahead.
Elizabeth is said to be Mary's cousin,
Okay.
but
Okay.
cousin, right?
So they would be cousins, Jesus and John.
That's what we. But again,
It
cousin,
doesn't make any difference.
cousin, right?
Okay.
What does that? Does that mean like you and I now we've got our cousins, we visit them, we
They
know
were
them.
both about the same age, though.
No, Mary's much younger than
Yeah.
Elizabeth. Yeah.
No.
Oh,
no,
John and
John
Jesus.
And Jesus.
John and Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the case, right? It'd be both.
Jesus was like 30.
That's kind
Okay.
of what 30.
That's what I picture John as, is
Yeah.
30 years old. And
Jesus
remember,
baptized the same year he was crucified?
No, it's kind of like 3 years is kind of the
I figured it.
general understanding. Again, it's not like in the Gospels they go, well, here's
I get it.
yeah,
I get it.
Yeah.
So it's a good question.
Some things are spelled out, though.
Some things
so
are
you
spelled
can
out.
You can infer that he was baptized when he was
30-ish.
15 or 20 or towards the end of his life.
Yeah.
Well, and when Jesus asked John to baptize him, I'm sure it wasn't the first time that Jesus was ever baptized.
Really?
That's another question I have.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think.
Don't you
he
think?
was- no, that baptism
There's
was
no raising your hands during the service.
There was no.
Only smart people ask questions. Do you know that?
There was no practice of.
Oh, I got
was
you.
a Christian. So
Okay.
he was circumcised on the 8th day, and he was presented for dedication of the temple.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but wouldn't have been baptism.
Okay.
Was baptism a new thing?
Christian baptism, the way we celebrate it now, was a new thing. The baptism that John
In Christ's time.
Yeah.
Yes.
The baptism that John offered was something that was fairly common and regular, and not a one-time thing.
So when John was baptizing people, he did that as a holy ceremony, as a religious ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was an outward example of one's own profession and one's own commitment to follow God.
To follow God.
That was again, repent, turn,
Right.
turn from your
Whatever you're following.
yeah, and turn towards God. And this public baptism would be a symbol
Of that.
this new turning in your life towards
And
God.
that was the river.
Jordan.
That's what I thought. Okay, so the River Jordan, it didn't have any magical powers.
Anyways, it's going to be a great sermon.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Probably.
I'm gonna rely on God for it, and then we'll all make our way to the table for Yeah, for
Communion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
That'd be nice.
but and I was telling Kenton, I am going to in a couple weeks. So
No.
Labor Day. Yeah,
No,
you know,
no.
I'm gonna start a series.
No.
Oh, I think you're gonna be interested though.
Oh, we have to go back to 2 services in series again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm shopping for a new church.
I think you should.
Oh
Probably
my
a good
goodness
idea.
gracious.
Yeah. So,
No, I know you gave me that 2.
do you remember? Do you remember what I was going to be talking about?
This week?
No.
Oh, you mean in
That
September?
series.
No.
You don't remember?
No.
I'm calling it "We Want a King."
Oh.
Remember? So it's Israel. You know, had been kind of led by. Well, they've been led by God.
Yeah.
But they've been led by judges and priests, and Samuel is kind of the last one of these. And then the people say, "Hey, we want a king." And so basically the problems with that transition, the problems with their first king, and the
But every civilization has to have a leader, and they just happen
Yeah.
to call him the king.
right. But Israel was meant to be unique, right? That's the fascinating thing. And God says, "Hey, they're not rejecting you, Samuel. They're rejecting me as their king. But that's okay. I'll give them a king, and then they'll see that it might not be as
You know what? Explain to me too.